We'll look at some of the basic forehand technique now. So if I'm addressing a ball on the forehand side, I'm going to be getting my wrist slightly cocked. I want that racket head to be slightly above my wrist there. I don't want it 90 degrees above, and I don't want it flopping down here. So I would like my wrist to be roughly 45 degrees. You know, it can vary ever so slightly with the players. And one of the key things is getting your racket up as early as possible. You hear a lot of coaches telling their players, get your racket up. So as soon as you know what side the ball's going onto, get your racket up. It's quite a quick movement. The earlier you can do that, the more time you're going to have to address the shots, the more time you're going to have to anticipate what's going on. So that racket up on that forehand looks something like that. Relatively cocked wrist, racket head sitting just above that wrist. And one of the best ways to describe a forehand technique, so if I'm hitting a forehand like that, it's the skimming stone analogy. So imagine you pick the stone up, you're by the edge of a lake, and you're trying to skim a stone across that edge of the lake. I get my arm and racket up, and I'd be dropping my elbow in a little bit. My elbow would come in, and I'd release that stone through. So with a racket in my hand, I've got that initial movement here. I've got myself addressed to the ball, and it's going along that line. And again, it's going along that line. So I think skimming a stone is a nice overarching way to describe that forehand technique. Early racket position, addressing that ball, and skimming that stone through. Backhand's a little bit different. One of the big similar things, we want to get that racket up as early as possible. So if I'm playing in a match, I know it's going to the backhand, I've got to get that racket up. Big thing to consider on the backhand, the shoulder is going to be in front of you. So if that ball goes to the backhand and I don't fully rotate, that shoulder is going to be in a bad position. So there's something called the diamond shape. So as soon as that ball goes on the backhand, what would happen is I'd get into this diamond shape. I would really look to pull my racket and pull my right hand towards my left shoulder. So if I can get into that position there, and I'll show you from front on, that position there, there's a diamond shape. From the shoulder to the forearm, the racket, and my head. So that diamond shape would be an ideal position to get in on the backhand side. So showing you front on, it would be racket up early, and you can see how quickly I rotate. Bang. I get into a rotation, and from there I release. And again, I'll do it in slow motion, diamond shape. It would come in, and what's really interesting about the backhand is the shape the swing goes to. It goes around my back, it goes around my body for a bit. From here you might see it a bit better, like that. So it's so important you set up well. If you don't set up well, a lot of the other moving parts will fall down. So again, balls in the backhand, quick diamond shape. I'll step into that shot and I'll release that swing with that slight bit of shape you want to create. And the last couple of things I want to talk about in regard to your overarching technique to the game would be your follow through. So the follow through is massively important. If you have a nice follow through and you're controlling that follow through, the ball will go roughly where you want it to go. So if I'm lining that ball up, making contact with that ball, you see my follow through on my backhand, it's part of the swing. It's directing the ball where I want it to go. I see a lot of follow throughs dropping off here or stabbing at that ball there. You want to make sure that follow through is releasing. Same on the forehand. I'd set up, contact point nice and simple over here, and the follow through would release through that line. And then finally, one of the biggest connections I talk about in regard to this overarching technique, it's these. It's connecting your legs, it's connecting your knees and your hips to the shot. All too often I see players get to the ball, they set up nicely, and then there's like a disconnect in the lower half. We want to connect the shot together. Connect the shot. I'll go back here. Connect the shot. And if you just watch the knees, my legs are taking up a lot of slack. I'm lunging in nicely, but I'm using the knees as shock absorbers. I'm using the knees to bounce and rhythm and hit. And all of that timing put together will produce some really good shots. So there's a lot of information in that video. It's one of these videos that I would suggest you watch a couple of times, make some notes on it, pick and choose a few key elements, because if you go try and do all of what I've just said there in one go, I think you'll find it pretty difficult and you'll have a bit of a brain melt. But if you can focus on, say, 1, 2, maybe 3 of those key elements over time, get those sorted, get them embedded in your game, that's going to be a fantastic foundation technically to work on in your game. So good luck with that.
Have you ever wondered what Jonah Barrington, Nick Matthew and Jonathan Power all have in common? They might all be world number ones, but they're also all coaches on SquashSkills.com. Now, SquashSkills is the online training platform that's designed to give amateur players the insight and knowledge to take their games to a whole different level. So if you've been struggling with your game, or you're stuck in a bit of a rut, or you're wondering how to improve, we've got you covered. With over 4,000 videos from some of the biggest names in the sport, as well as the ultimate training app, complete with every single squash exercise under the sun, we're there to take care of you and ensure that you can improve your squash no matter what your level. We're so confident that we can improve your understanding of the game that we'll even give you a 14-day money-back guaranteed if you're not completely satisfied. So if you're looking to take your game to a whole new level in 2024, be sure to check out SquashSkills.com today.